All right, Cole, whenever you're ready.
In your NHL career, you wore number 41. Why did you pick that number?
Well, there's quite a story to that, Cole. When I got called up, I remember it was late October, and it was Saturday night, and I'd been playing in the American League, and that was Montreal's farm team, Sherbrooke. And they called me up for a game against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah.
And I went into the locker room, and I went over to my equipment, and number 41 was hanging there with my name on it. And that's the only story I have for you. Now, in those days in Montreal, there's a lot of numbers retired in Montreal. And so it's not like you can get 7 or 9 or 10 or 19. All the numbers below 20, there's a lot of them that are retired. So guys my age, that was in the late 80s, started wearing like 36 and 38 and 41. And they gave me 41, and you know what? I kind of liked it. I kind of liked it right away. And I don't think anybody else in the league was wearing 41 at the time. I might be wrong, but I don't think there was one player wearing 41. So I just kept it, and not very many guys wear it, and I thought that was kind of cool. So I never changed it. I played on obviously other teams and kept it. Said, "Hey, that's my number."
With your number, CBC did a book about best for every number. They did the top 10 players, and you were there for 41.
Yeah, I saw that actually, and I was kind of happy about that. I think I picked the right number, because I think if I would have picked 19 or number 10 or number 7, I wouldn't have been up in the top 10. So it was a good choice, and I like the number today. Like, I still use it. I shouldn't say that, but every once in a while I put it in a password, because I'll never forget that number.
What is your favorite team now in the NHL?
That's a good question. I follow closely. I guess my heart is in Detroit and in Montreal.
Yeah.
And, Montreal was where I was drafted, and I played there. And it's such a great franchise. We had such good teams. I didn't think I would ever play for another team. I thought, I could get a tattoo of the CH on my chest and I'd be there forever. But the reality of the game is you move around. And then in Detroit, to play on another Original Six team and win a Stanley Cup, that's obviously one of the places my heart is. And I spend more time with the players and the GM and the coaches of Detroit more than any other team, because the general manager, Ken Holland, is obviously a close friend of mine, and he's from Vernon too. So so Detroit and Montreal for sure, the teams that I follow closely.
Okay. What was it like playing in the Heritage Classic?
Well, that was a lot of fun, and I don't play hockey anymore. I coach my sons, and so I'm on the ice a lot with them. But I decided I better get in a little better shape if I was going to play in the Heritage Classic. But that was the teams from 1988 and 1989 that played against each other. And one of the nice things for me was I was a rookie that year, so I'm younger than most of those guys. So I was 43. 43? No, I was 43 in the Winter Classic. A lot of those guys were over 50, so I felt like we were fast. The young guys. We felt like we were faster than we hadn't. Our legs hadn't completely fallen apart yet. So I had a blast, and my sons were there, so I wanted to make sure that I scored a goal, and I got one early, which was good. Got it out of the way, but we had so much fun. It was great.
Did you collect hockey cards as a kid?
You know what, I did, and it's funny because after I was in the NHL for a few years, a friend of mine, I ran into him. I was back home in the summer, and he said, "You gave me all your hockey cards when you were about 16 or 17. I said, "Oh yeah, I think I remember that." He said there was 4 Gretzky rookie cards in there. And I said, "I want them back," but I think they were long gone. So yeah, I did collect them, but I never hung on to them. So hang on to them, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
What was your favorite card you had?
I don't think I had a favorite card. I think if I would, I can tell you now that it would have been the Gretzky had I kept it. So, but I'm about 4 or 5 years younger than Wayne, and we all looked up to him so much. He was such a great player.
Do you keep in touch with any of your old teammates?
Sure, I keep in touch with lots of them. I keep in touch with a lot of guys in Detroit. I keep in touch with Steve Yzerman, and he was a close friend when I was in Detroit, even though he's in Tampa now. And You know, Kirk Muller just got a job yesterday with the Carolina Hurricanes, and I texted him last night just to congratulate him. So you do keep in touch with a lot of guys, and the nice thing in Kelowna and Vernon is there's so many of those players that live here in the summer.
Yeah.
So I get to see quite a few guys, and even some of the younger players that I didn't play with or don't know that well. I get to meet them, and you know, if they ever want advice, I'm there for advice, and if not, you know, it's nice to play golf with them once in a while.
Yeah. What was it like hosting the Stanley Cup?
Well, that was great. That's probably the highlight of my career. It's funny, you know, winning it's the highlight, and then when you win it, there's a lot of things that go on, but after that, a couple days afterwards, like you have a parade. We had a big parade in Detroit. There was 1 million people that showed up. We had a big pep rally in our arena where all the season ticket holders come. All these things are so much fun, but the best part of it is bringing it home. You get to bring it home to friends that you grew up with, and I got to hand it to my dad. That's by far the highlight, is to be able to bring it home and share it with the people you grew up with and your family. And we had it for 2 days, and we had just a spectacular time.
That's awesome. In your opinion, who is the best player you played with?
The best player I played with on the same team is Nicholas Lidstrom, believe it or not. We had great players in Detroit when we won cups. We had Yzerman, Shanahan, Fedorov, Hasek, so many great players, Larionov, but Nick was our best player. And if you even asked all those stars who was our best player, it was Nick Lidstrom. And he's so quiet about the way he plays the game. He doesn't make mistakes. He's not flashy, but if you play with him for a couple of years and you watch him every night, you realize how much better he is than everybody else. And he's proven it again this year at 41 or 42 years old. He's still one of the best players, one of the best defensemen in the league. So he was the most valuable player to a team that I'd ever played with. So, great player. Patrick Wall was the best goalie.
Yeah.
And Stevie was probably the best forward I played with. Yeah.
Going back to the 2010-11 playoffs, who were you cheering for in the Nashville Vancouver series?
I was cheering for Nashville. Yeah, and just because I knew so many guys on the team, and Barry Trotz, the coach, lives here in the summer, and Jared Smithson's from here, and he's a good friend. So I think I was cheering for them. Most people around here probably don't understand why I don't cheer for the Canucks, but it's just, it's a team I played against for so many years, and I have no affinity or no heartstrings for the Canucks for whatever reason.
Yeah. Who is your favorite player now to watch?
Barring the guys I know, like Nick Lidstrom and Thomas Holmstrom and the guys I played with, I'd have to say it's, and I got to put one more player in there. Talking about great players I played with, Pavel Datsyuk, I played with him for one season. And I think that Pavel, and it's a bit unfair because I know him, I think he's my favorite player to watch. I think he's the price of admission every time he touches the puck. But I think Sid, I love to watch Sid play. I think he's the best player in the world.
He's my favorite player.
He's a great hockey player. I said it when he first came in. I used to argue with people, including my own sons, that everybody told me Ovechkin was better, and I said, not a chance. Sid's going to be better. And, I think he is. I think he is. And Ovi's a great player, and he's a lot of fun to watch, but Sid's got so much heart. He battles for every puck. And so my favorite to watch is Pavel, but that's unfair because I know him. And my second or tied for first would be Sid.
When did you really start playing hockey?
Well, I don't remember not playing. A lot younger than you guys. And I am at your age, and at your age, I always said that that's what I was going to do. I was going to play in the NHL. And I think when you say that and you're the age of you two guys, people just go, oh, that's good, good for you.
Yeah.
But when you're still saying it at 14, some people think you're crazy, and others that know you maybe believe you. But I always thought I was going to play in the NHL, and I just kept working at it, and it's proof that dreams can come true.
What team do you think you're most recognized with?
I think Montreal. I still think Montreal. If I go to the city of Montreal, people will still recognize me for playing there. If they see my name, then they'll know right away that I played there. If I'm talking on the phone with somebody in Quebec, they'll ask right away, "Are you the Gilchrist that played in Montreal?" So, you know, because in those days we were on TV so much, the Canadian team, and Montreal was, you know, a lot of people's favorite team or a lot of people's hated team. So they knew you, right? So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, buddy.
That was
Good
awesome.
questions. It was a pleasure to meet you. Good job. Good luck with your blog.
Yeah, well,